Good evening, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of the Total Levy Football Podcast. I'm Carl, as your host as usual, and joining me we've got Stefan as well to bring some news that brought out of. We should have Reece joining us within the next, hopefully in the next couple of minutes or so. We'll get to see him hopefully before the end of the show. Let's kick off with some big news. Happened today from Crystal Palace. We have got confirmation this today that Oliver Glasner will leave Crystal Palace this summer for a new challenge. He has confirmed that he will leave the club this summer after the end of his contract. Glasgow guided Palace to their first major trophy in his side, lifted the FA Cup last season after the 1-0 victory over Manchester City and qualified for the first time in the club's history for Europe as well. The Austrians announced because of City and Man City are in the process of finalising the agreement to sign centre-back Marc Guehi, who is joining for a package worth £20 million plus bonuses and a sell-on clause as well. This is the quotes from Glasner earlier today from his press conference. I've told Steve Parish I am looking for a new challenge, and Glasner said on Friday, it's my feeling after everything, and again, that's why I told him October. So it's nothing to do with the transfer window. It's nothing. So all these are rumors. I hate if something is being written and being told it's not true. It was very tough for me not to respond. It's nothing to do with it. We have a great relationship. We're always talking about what's best for Crystal Palace. The reason is just for me, I'm looking for a new challenge. I haven't spoken to any club. No interest. I told the players and I promised them today I'll give my best to play the best ever season in Crystal Palace history to break points on the record of last season. And yeah, in the more he said, with the negative runs of results, we need positivity. So sometimes it's better to move forward. And I spoke to Steve about it. Wanted maybe to announce before the transfer window with all these wrong rumors before the transfer window. We thought maybe it was not the best moment signing Brennan Johnson. Was great for the club. I didn't want to do it after winning 5 games in a row because if you lose, you know what's responsible. It's not my future or players' future. We can start to win again, and that is the best thing for Palace as well. So that's the confirmation pretty much from Glasgow as well. And Stefan, we expected this was going to come.
Yeah.
We knew that at least a fortnight ago. We know that he was not going to sign. There was rumors that he was not going to sign a new contract. It's all been confirmed now. Are you surprised in a way that they've waited for this announcement until today? And especially, we'll talk about Marc Guehi shortly as well. But with that scenario, with that fashion,
Am I surprised? No, because let's be honest, in his time at Palace, he's been very, very successful, getting them the FA Cup, which nobody thought. He's got them to the knockout rounds of the Conference League, so we're sort of that. But I think one of the proverbial nails in his reasoning for leaving was quite possibly the defeat to Macclesfield Town in the FA Cup, because that was just a big shock. Everybody expected Palace to steamroll the National League North side, who are sitting 14th, by the way, in their table. And they didn't. They had one of the biggest cup shocks of all time. As for Glasner wanting a new challenge, I just wonder what that new challenge could perhaps be come the end of the season, but that's just my own personal thoughts. Like I said to you, Carl, off air there, I said I would rather take a dog than anybody else with I would rather take a dog even with experience and pedigree rather than what's going on just now. So if that's his new challenge, all the best to him. Look forward to seeing you in July. But no, I'm not surprised he's wanting a bigger challenge at a bigger club and to test himself again within the world of football.
yeah, absolutely. Listen, he joined the club. Just let's go back to his starting record. So he succeeded Roy Hodgson in February 2024 after Roy Hodgson had issues with his health. He finished in 2023-24 season in strong form, winning 6 in the final 7 Premier League wins, 10 place their heights, top flight since 2014-15, alongside the FA Cup. Like I said, they beat Liverpool and penalties to win the Community Shield August. Glasner was previously the head coach at Eintracht Frankfurt. He was part of the German to win the Europa League against Rangers in the final. He left Frankfurt in 2023 when they finished 7th that time, and he has coach Wolfsburg, Lasnik, SVV, and he was assistant at RB Salzburg in his career as well, in his early career as well. So yes, let's bring in our other co-host and let's say your microphone working now? It's still a bit. It was very choppy. No. We'll hopefully get Reese's mic sorted out before we get his. Hold on. Reese, can you speak now? Yeah, it's a bit choking like type. Yeah. We'll get Reese. Oh, hold on a second. Try now.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
Plug the mic and just put it back in. That was weird. Okay.
Yeah. No, Reese, good evening to you. Thanks for joining us as you usually do. Let's talk about the announcement with Oliver Glasner. He's confirming he's not going to extend. He's going to leave at the end of his contract this season. What's your take on it, especially after it's been coming out, especially after the defeat in the FA Cup against Macclesfield?
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. In retrospect, like I expected some form of reaction or some sort of action in general. I don't particularly have any. This might sound harsh, but I've got no limelight for Glasner for it. He sealed his own death warrant. Like, it's the same thing. If a manager comes out and says, "Oh, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that," they plant seeds that they're going to make changes, they're going to leave at the end of the season, all this, all that. Well, if that's the case, then if you come out and say that, why should you be allowed to carry on with your job? Like, if you're going to say, "Oh, I'm leaving at the end of the season," well, if that's the case, you've just screwed up any chances of the team progressing for the end of the season, where they could potentially. They're still at that point up until the cup game against Macclesfield, as we said. Palace were still in 2 cup competitions. They basically could have. They were never going to retain the FA Cup. Let's be real. They were never going to retain it, but they would have made quarterfinals minimum if it hadn't been for this stupid phrase. So he sold himself short. They're going to get eliminated from the Conference League, and they're not going to finish in the European places. Like, they're not going to finish in Europe now. That's it. Like, their season will be done by mid-March. It's over. And that's because of Glasner and his arrogance. Good manager, but it's the arrogance of him.
Yeah.
No sympathy for him at all.
Well, I was going to bring you to the next question. I asked Stefan this off the air before I came out. I think I know your answer is going to be, if he's looking for a new challenge, do you see him somewhere at Old Trafford?
Hopefully not. I like him, but I don't think it's the right answer. If United are so hell-bent on winning the league in 2028, Glasner's not that type of person. If they're so intent on winning the league in 2028, they need to get a winner now that they'll actually back fully, who will make the squad winners for that period. There's no way or hope that Glasner does that. Like, what are you going to do? Have Glasner for a year, he gets the team in a good shape, then you just sack him? Nah, I think it's a bad idea. I think he might end up in Germany again, though. I think I still reiterate, I think Kompany replaces Pep at Man City. I don't think Enrique replaces Pep at City. I think it's Kompany. I think Kompany's the next City manager, and I think Glasner goes to Bayern.
No, yeah, very much so. Let's get into some messages. Good evening to Chris. Well, as usual, he said, "Look, we'll get into Gray shortly," but he said, "Fair play to Gray and his agent. I don't blame him. I have no issues, Gray, with Matt Gray." And this is what he said: Glasner and Paris are basically strippers of Man City, twerking their backsides for them. Both of them are hypocrites. Funny how Glasner's not threatening voicemails this time.
Yeah, funny that.
And then he blames Michael Edwards, Hughes Edwards at Liverpool for not getting Gray. Don't forget Edwards was playing for the third deal fell through, a couple of seasons ago, a couple of seasons ago. Yeah, forgot about that as well. He's fuming at a recruitment team for Gray, but then again, 300k is worth taking the piss. But Gray agent, as it was, act to ask for that. Yeah, they are kind of right to ask for that. So.
Dave, my concern is this. To be fair, the game of football has become so financially ridiculous for player wages, but Marc Guehi at least has a number of years as a professional in the game. But what has he really done to say I'm worth 300k a week?
Yeah.
He's won a few things now at Palace in the last couple of years. Okay, that's credit. That's not 300k a week worthy.
No.
I find that so sus. And I'm surprised at how cheap that they've got him for as well.
Yeah.
I know they're good operators, but they've got him incredibly cheap. Palace have really had their pants pulled down.
They have, yeah.
And
I'm surprised because I think when Gray moved to Crystal Palace, I think he was roughly around that price figure when he moved to Crystal Palace.
No profit. No profit.
So it's a bit of a loss for Crystal Palace, where they could have sold him maybe 10 million more, 15 perhaps, but
they could have done, yeah.
As I said, when he moved, 80 million pounds he joined from Chelsea.
So it's barely a profit.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing for them, and they should hold their heads in shame.
I mean, to be honest as well, I'm really surprised that City have stepped up their game, because if they just waited, say, another 4 or 5 months, we could have got him for absolutely nothing. He was going to leave them free. So if they'd just been patient and waited out, we would have got him for nothing.
Well, that's the thing. But
you know what Pep's like? He just if he sees something and he likes it, he's like a dog with a bone. He doesn't let go. Like he got Semenyo, who's fitted in absolutely. Like he's been at City for years in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
And he's now going to go for Guehi. But my problem is, where does Guehi fit into an already star-studded Man City team as well?
Well,
on Stone's replacement.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I think with that, Stefan, I think Real Madrid, before Alonso, Real Madrid, regardless of who's going to be the next manager, they would have been lurching to try to get Gray.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He had loads of workers and shooters after him, but it seems because Man City are stepping up their pursuit, they're going to get him, but they obviously are willing to fork out money despite having these 100 odd charges, which we've not heard about for over nearly a year now. So goodness knows what's going to happen with that when it does come around. That's going to be very interesting to see what the strength they're going to have.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm just looking at the Man City defenders. So John Stones is now going to be 32 in May. So Nathan Aki's now 30. He's 30. They're the 2 oldest players that are over 30. Ruben Diaz is still 28. He's going to be 29. Altnori is going to be 25 because he plays like that. But Guardiola is going to be 24 next week. Kozanov is going to be 22 in February. So it does show that pretty much that the defense is going to need to be reshaped because John Stones has been there for over 10 years. And you know what happens when
Of
Man City
course.
players stay over for 10 years. I think
Yeah.
they will leave. So I think there's a chance that John Stones might have to be the one, have to leave this summer to so
I can see him going back to Everton.
Yeah.
I do as well.
All roads lead back home as to where you started out. I mean, that would be really weird. A two-club man in the Premier League, rather, starts out at Everton, goes to Man City for 10 years, goes back to Everton.
Wayne Rooney done it.
Yeah, Rooney did it.
Exactly. Chris Boyd done it with Kilmarnock 3 times, so there you go. It just goes to show.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I
with
think
that.
you'll get the band back together.
I think there's a lot there where they can really make use of it. I think it would be a decent re-signing.
Yeah.
It's a tricky one. It depends on how he wants them to play, though.
Mhm.
I think it's hard. Johnstone's a good defender, but because he's so different to what he was when he left Everton, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Even though I can see him going back there, I don't know if it's the right answer.
But
Yeah.
could he maybe go back there, do his coaching badges and be like a under 18s coach or
I think
something?
it's because he's still
As well as a player.
I think because he's still in his early 30s, I don't think he would be looking at that beyond that yet. That's the questionable one. I just think maybe if it gets to the last stages, but I think because he's still in his early 30s, he's still got a lot to play for, regardless where he goes.
Oh yeah.
I don't see him. He doesn't strike me as somebody that would enjoy or be good as a manager.
No, I don't see that at all. And I know that because from the Yorkshire connections, I just don't see that type in him.
Yeah.
So I think he will probably move away from that. I don't know if it'll be like a bloody David Batty. He'll just go away, but I think he'll stay within the football world. But I couldn't see him as a coaching. No.
Yeah, I just don't see it.
He might be a feature face on MOTD once he retires.
Does he go into media? Probably, maybe, because
I'd rather listen to him than Gary Neville.
He's got a point. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
I think he could. I think he could be decent for me on TV. I really could.
I think it's time that certain pundit shows actually make the right move and just start bouncing off.
Yeah.
So Chris is saying hopefully Glasner goes abroad so he doesn't have to see him on his screen. He's a good manager, Glasner.
Yeah.
I think it's just the way he's gone about it. It's going to turn people off a little bit. It gives me Graham Potter vibes, and he's a dick and all. Like I don't like this with Glasner. Like I think if he wanted to leave, then I would have said keep it quiet, don't make it public, and then say like the season ends. Oh, by the way, I've held discussions throughout the season. I've been committed to Palace for the season. However, I did tell them that I'm ready to try something new.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to move on. Don't do it when you're still fighting for Europe. You're still in a European competition and still in the FA Cup.
Exactly. The surprising thing for me is that it doesn't give Crystal Palace more time to find the next manager now, or do the wait like I said, because it's a World Cup year. Everything could be close to whatever the potential replacement is who's going to be for Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park.
Yeah, there's something weird as well. He says he's ready for a new challenge, but what exactly does he expect? He's not going to be a front runner for the Man United job.
No.
The only way he gets the Man United job is if Man United decide we don't want a top manager anymore. Like that's the only way it works, and if that happens, then you can forget Man United competing next season. But there's no other. Like, is the natural step up from Palace? Does he stay in London? Does he replace Thomas the Frank Engine?
Well, I've got this good quote because
But I think he gets Bayern though. There's something about it.
No, I think I go a bit one better because of his nationality. There is a manager did extend his contract only up to the World Cup, and he
Rangnick.
And he goes. What he does takes over the national team.
It's not a bad idea. I think Rangnick's got.
Yeah,
Rangnick's done well for the Austrian national team, considering the fact he's German, but they're basically the same thing. They just don't want to admit it. But
exactly,
he's restored the national feeling. He's got them playing a really good system. I mean, unfortunately, Glasner will probably change it. He'll probably change it to his back three, but I actually like the fact that Rangnick plays a solid four at the back system for Austria. It protects them and they play good football. If he goes in and plays a back three, I think he ruins it. I think he ruins the setup for those players. But if he does take the job, it's a decent opportunity. I think he would do well. He's a decent age for the job.
Aye.
Stefan's disappearing like Hibs' chances of winning the trophy.
Well, he will ask us if we had a crash. I'll just invite him back on. So
I definitely think it's a crash.
Yeah.
I'm concerned though that in retrospect, that if he does go there, does that make his club career over? Because I still think he had a lot more to prove at club level.
I thought he would have still that, but I just can't see where he goes. And I think I couldn't think of any suitability of where he goes. So I think maybe he's back on. Maybe the national team is probably a better case scenario.
Yeah.
I just thought Bayern because I do think Kompany replaces City, and I don't think Luis Enrique is the one that replaces Pep.
I think Luis Enrique will stay at PSG. He's shut down those rumors that we had earlier in the week.
I hope he changed his mind.
Yeah, but with the situation, because Rangnick has only signed Rangnick decided a 2-year contract, but because it was extended to the World Cup, I think there will be talks within the Austrian Football Federation with Glasner completely. I just think it will. I feel that could happen. Does Rangnick go back to being a technical director somewhere at IB?
I think he gets the job. I think he gets the job he's always craved.
Bayern Munich, yeah.
No, I think he becomes head of the German FA.
That will be a big shout. Yeah.
And I think it's long overdue that he gets that role, and I think it will help if he does get that role, because then finally they can freaking escape this possession dominant style of football and go back to what brought them to the dance. Especially considering, as of today, Jamal Musiala is officially back in club football action. He will play for Bayern Munich either from the bench or starting against, unfortunately, my pain, Leipzig. But Jamal Musiala is officially back in club football.
Yeah, that's huge.
Which is fantastic.
Especially now he's got to stay keep himself fit for the World Cup, because if he's not there, he's gonna be huge. And I think I always said Germany probably my favorites as one of the UP favorites to win the World Cup.
But they need him for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a real major. But when I look at Glasner in that sense, it's the strength of where they go, where from there, how they adapt, how they manage it. I still reiterate that I think Glasner is a stupid idiot, but it's his decision. I don't think he'll regret it, but I think maybe he will, because apart from winning the Europa League at Frankfurt, winning the FA Cup, and then winning the dinner plate, is the best things he's actually done. I don't think he tops it.
I do agree with that. I really do. But can I ask you guys, who do you see as the next Crystal Palace manager? I know it's a bit early, but who would be the best suited for that job?
Gareth Southgate.
Again, yeah, that does not surprise me because of the connection.
Yeah, Mr. Racecourse.
I mean, it is his club. People think Middlesbrough's his club. It's not.
Palace is his club.
Yeah, he's a Palace fan.
He's a Palace fan, player through and through. So
yeah. I think realistically, I think he would do okay for Palace because it's that type of level. It's not. I'm not dismissing him as a football club. I'm just saying it makes sense for him, and that he hasn't been a club manager for so many years.
Not
And,
since 2009.
yeah,
Not last job at Middlesbrough for 3 years, 3 and a bit years.
I think if he walked into Palace, I don't think he changes
Much.
Yeah, I don't think he does. I think the one thing he does, though, if he does get the Palace job, that means they don't lose Adam Wharton.
That would be huge because Southgate loves him so much, and I think that would be huge. Especially he has been. I think, and even I think it's a sense. It could be sensible.
Yeah.
I think it's a sensible approach with that one. I really do. I think it could work. I think with the club what they want to do, and Steve Parish knows. Especially he's brought Matt Bright back in the board years ago as well. I think there's a chance this might have legs on this one.
And considering the fact that Steve Holland is not going to be at Man United that long, he could easily get Holland into the Palace role with him as his number two.
Yeah.
And I do think it works. And I think under Southgate, Palace could be competing for a top 10 place.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even top 8.
I'd say the highest maybe is 9th, but it depends. It all depends on Mateta.
Yeah.
And if they can keep Adam Wharton.
If Mateta doesn't get poached by Juventus, that one could maybe have little legs.
I think he is because Milan pulled out on Mateta for full.
They did. Milan pulled out. I think Juventus are now in that hunt now. I really do.
Yeah. I like Füllkrug, but I like Füllkrug, but I think Milan made a mistake. I think they should have went for Mateta. But if he does go to Juventus, physical league, you put him in the right tactical setup, you get someone like Yildiz, depending on if Man United actually go berserk and sign Yildiz in the summer. It's a good setup for him as well. Like it fits the mold. But if Palace does sign Southgate, does he stick with the three at the back system that Palace play, which he's done before as well, international football? It was his first system for England. He played the back three. Or does he go to the system that he used in the last 3 tournaments, which was the back 4? That's actually a pressing question. What do you think? I think he would be smart to stick with the back 3 because the players are safe with it.
Yeah, I would say that as well. I think that will probably be. I think he'll stick with the back 3 for Mudros when it comes to like big, huge matches. But if it gets of less opposition, I think he'll go to a 4. But I think a back 3 would work in that favour. What Palace are looking for.
Is it bad that I don't particularly rate Southgate as a manager, but when he does actually get his tactics right, he does seem to know what he's doing. It's just certain big games he just really doesn't know how to get over the line. But I do think if you put him in a Palace situation, there's something about him where they wouldn't be maybe they don't score as much as they do under Glasner. But I do think maybe they would be more. The one thing that Southgate actually does have quite well, and this is actually really annoying that I'm praising him, but if you actually look at Southgate when he was England manager, he did actually increase the conversion rate of his teams. The conversion rate for chances were a lot higher.
It was a lot higher than people thought it would have been.
Yeah, even though it was not particularly exciting. If he does actually keep those attacking players and maybe the wide players, like the wing backs or a midfielder that he trusts to be a bit more of an attacking threat if no one else is doing the job, their conversion rate under him actually would be quite good. That does worry me as well, especially in a crunch game where you need points. You could generally do. I can't believe I'm preaching this, but he actually would do well for them.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I agree with that as well, actually.
But I think the biggest thing for Palace now is they've only made a £2 million profit on a player they could have sold for 4 times that if they were smart. They could have had at least 60, 80 million for Marc Guehi.
Yeah,
they've lost out over their own stupidity. They've failed to make money of him. A, who replaces him now as club captain? Because that's another big thing. And B, who do they sign? Because I think Marc Guehi is actually replaceable. I don't think he's irreplaceable. But yes, Newcastle and Spurs did bid for Marc Guehi, yes.
Yeah.
and that's why Newcastle ended up signing in Malik Thiaw instead.
Yeah, they did.
What do you think? Because I think he is replaceable. It's not like he's not irreplaceable, but he's important for Palace. But
he is. Yeah. I think the player that captain could captain is probably the two candidates is Dean Henderson, because he's been at Palace a bit. Okay. The one other I could think of is Maxime Lacroix. Pretty much.
That's what Gene is saying. Lacroix as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
He's a decent defender. I think he was captain at Wolfsburg. I'm sure he was a captain.
He was, yeah, he was.
He's a good centre back.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting who Palace will replace, because the one thing they did get, JD Canvot, who joined as was a potential replacement, but I think they need someone more experienced and really that fits the value of what Gray brought into that club.
Gene, you sold him for 20 million potentially. With add-ons, it rises to 30 million, and he's signed a 300k a week long-term contract. So 20 million potentially rising to 30, 300k a week on a 5-year deal. That man is going to be absolutely minty for the rest of his life.
Oh yeah, very much so. Much so.
Gene, obviously, I didn't say I don't rate Southgate as a manager. I didn't say Southgate for a joke, by the way. I'm actually, for once, I'm being deadly serious. Yeah. But who do you think will be the next manager of your club versus who do you want? Who do you want versus who do you actually think will get the job?
I reckon Southgate is a good shout, though.
Yeah,
I was just thinking on a logical basis, because I've said it a few times before that I can just see happening. It just makes sense.
It just makes sense. That's why I think he's been holding off for so long, and I think it was always going to be either Palace or something that was going to interest him. And I think Palace just makes the logical sense and financial sense.
And it's another thing as well, though, is I know a lot of people say don't go back to an ex-player. But at least it's an ex-player who doesn't manage based on emotion.
No, Andy knows the club inside out. It's like, I don't know, it's like Wayne Rooney with Everton and Manchester United. He knows the clubs inside out.
Yeah,
he might not be the best fit to be manager there, but he knows the club inside out.
He's a typical Palace manager as well. Defensively organised, gets them playing hard to get. He likes to just build on good team ethic and plays with a physically imposing player with a little bit of technical influence. I think it's a decent move, and I agree with that, Gene, as well. The results, if it continues, Glasner will be sacked. Glasner sealed his own fate. Like, for me, is dead on arrival. What he said, I don't care if you've got ambition to move on. If you're in a contract, don't do that.
Yeah, I agree. I will say the same thing as well, actually. Yeah, you can't do that at all anyway. I think we're going to finish it off because we did want to not spend too long on this. So, but actually, before we go, we just got an announcement of the 4th round of the FA Cup TV games, which I am going to bring up now and you'll confirm. So, with everything on here, you'll see that Hull City at home against Chelsea, which will be on Friday, which will be, of course, on BBC One and BBC One and TNT Sports 1, and also Wrexham against Ipswich will be on BBC Wales and Discovery Plus. Burton Albion against West Ham is one of the lunchtime games on Saturday on the Saturday on TNT Sports 1. Aston Villa Newcastle is going to be a big game. Will be live on BBC One and TNT, along with Liverpool against Brighton on TNT Sports 1. Also, Birmingham City against Leeds also on TNT Sports. 1:30 Grimsby Town against Wolves will be on TNT Sports, and then games will be on Discovery Plus between Oxford United against Sunderland, Stoke City against Wrexham, and the big game at 4:30 on Sunday is Arsenal against Wigan on at 4:30 on TNT Sports 1. And then Monday night we'll have the final game of the round, which will be Macclesfield at home to Brentford live on TNT Sports 1 and Discovery Plus.
I feel bad for Wigan. They've got to take their world-class players to a shit club like Arsenal. Every way I can to reverse stick the knife in Arsenal because they're not world-class. Wigan aren't world-class, by the way. I'm just saying it for a joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
Day. Who cares about Valentine's Day?
I'm in a relationship, so I'm in
and that doesn't matter.
I know it doesn't matter.
It's a pointless day.
Well, it is true, actually. I'll give you that.
Honestly, celebrating Valentine's Day is like giving a guard of honor to your rival.
fair enough. Do you know what? I can't argue with that one. Gentlemen, thank you very much for always for joining me as well. You guys will be back on tomorrow on the Saturday at 11:30. I'll let you guys decide what topics you're going to discuss in the chat because I will be working, but I will be back on this Sunday with the championship review at 8:00 with myself, Stefan, Michael, and also Annie as well. So we'll enjoy that as well. And then myself and Doug will be back on at least after Monday night's game between Brighton against Bournemouth. We'll do the 20 podcast as well. So thank you very much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and hit the like button as well, subscribe button for any upcoming stuff as well. So yeah, I will let you guys have a good evening. We'll see you see these guys tomorrow. And you'll see me Sunday as well. So for the next time, any breaking news stuff, we'll bring it up to you here on the Total Leaving Home Football Podcast. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.